Shut up and sit down.
Hello again, gang. Colin here from Mr. 67 Workshop, and we are going to be building the Tamiya electric handy drill. Now this little bad boy runs on two little AA batteries, and the beauty of it is it comes as a kit, and it's cute. What can I say? So a little opener of the box there, and inside we got a bag with a motor. We got some instructions. I'll just adjust me camera angle a little bit there. Yeah, super fresh, eh? Yeah. Ah, dear. Anywho, so yeah, set instructions, and the cutest of things, it comes on sprues. So a little quick flick through the instructions there. As you can see, comes with the motor, all the copper plates, contacts for the battery. So we'll get the old gears out, pop them on there. That's the mechanism for the inside, and the blue part is the handle. And in this bag is a ever so cute little 0.4 drill bit, and it is ickle tiny. Yeah, put it away faster because you will lose it. So yeah, I got this on the eBay for a massive 14 quid. Sounds a lot, but hey, you know, it's a Tamiya electric drill. What more can I say? Even though I've got a Dremel and a Bosch drill and various other drills, it's like, yeah, but this one comes as a kit. Yeah, so I'll just pop that off of the old spruceroo, like so. And it is literally chop them off as per a normal model kit. And I'm going to whiz through the sprues here just to get rid of them out of the way. So we can put that sprocket there, or gear wheel. Another one there. Try not to cut your finger faster. Yeah, I've done that before. So pop that there on the left. And then we got a couple of little, almost like miniature bearings or spacers that go inside the housing of the drill there. Just put them to the left. Excuse me. Get rid of that sprue. What else have we got here? Let's have a quick perusal. Put them there. And this is the trigger mechanism and the motor plate mechanism there. And that'll have all the copper contacts will be getting put on that. And then the trigger mechanism rods get screwed into the body of the drill there. So we'll just carry on cutting these off like so. Yeah, little lock there for the drill so that you don't, when you pick it up, switch it on. Little safety feature there. And that's the little housing for the button, and that's trigger lock mechanism. So there's another little pile of plastic. Yeah, we know it's cute. Obligatory sanding stick there that's been brutalised as usual by me. Yeah, poor thing. Yeah, hide it out of the way, why don't you? Let's get something a bit more decent. Yeah, cue the knife that rolls away at every opportunity. Nice little shaped sander there. And all I'm doing is just knocking off the edges there, and then go over it with my knife. Yeah, like so. Pick up the next bit. Same again, just scraping off any nubs, and then when it's assembled I shall go over it with a sanding stick and just smooth out any seamage or whatever, and Don't want to be cutting Festa's delicate paws, do we? So I would make sanding stick noises, but I'm not good at that. Yeah, this is a really bad voiceover, I know. Yeah, guess he forgot to switch the microphone on his iPhone. Yeah. Get the bag of bits out. There's the motor. Open up the bag of goodies. In here's the drill chuck, the gear shafts, that sort of thing. And then in this bag is the plastic bearing, a couple of tiny metal shafts, and the copper contacts for the motor and the battery compartment. And then what that enables you to do is when the batteries are in, they can make contact with the copper to the motor, and yeah, you get electricity edge. Yeah. So what have we got? This is the bit now where I start humming and making noises to myself like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, of course I do, trust me. Right, pick up the first bit, and yeah, let's put this piece of copper into there like that, and then give it a little press home. And now in there's a little tiny tab in a rectangular cutout, and I found I had to get the old knife and just give it a deft little tuck onto the back of the tab there just to stop it from moving about, because you're going to be putting batteries in and out of this thing, and the last thing you want to do is have all the copper go flying off every time you open up the compartment. And I'll do the same on there. Just press it home, get the edge of the knife, just make sure that the copper is gone in to the groove there and clicked over the tab, and from the back there you just ping it in place and it gives a resounding click. Now I know I'm happy now that I can put that down after giving it the well approved manly thumb test. Put the drive gear onto the motor like so. Give it a little press just to start it on its journey, and then lean on it on the bench just to get it pushed firmly home in place. Yeah, thumbs up, wiggle wiggle. Yeah. And then the motor can only go in here one way, and it's with the two terminals facing up to the copper like so. Give it a little twist, it will fit in and it will just pop in place, and then when it gets put into the body of the drill, it will fit nice and snug. So I'm happy with that. Everything matches the pictures. Yeah, nod in agreement now, come on, you know you can. Yes, Festa. Right, what's the next bit? Yeah, looks confused. Yeah. Right, so what do we do now? Let's pick up the drill chuck there, have a look at that. Oh no, it's the trigger lock mechanism. There's a little silver button goes on the side of the casing there, and what this does, this button here goes through a hole on the side like so, it comes out of there, and then when you're putting a drill bit in, you can press it and it'll lock the chuck in place whilst you tighten it. Held in place with a spring. Try not to lose it, Festa. Yeah, cue Zebedee. Doing. Yeah. And then there's a little retaining ring of grey plastic that's got a couple of little pins on the back there. And I'll just use the knife to start getting that in place, because I've got hands like 2 pound of chipolata sausages. They're about as much use as well. Cue the fat fingers. Yeah, there you go. Little press, that's in place now. And like I say, once all the gears and that are in and everything, it'll all get held in place by each other. when the sides are screwed together. So we're happy with that. We can now look at fitting the little lock lever that goes on the outside of the gun just by the trigger there, like so. Comes through inside the casing, and there's a tiny teensy wincy little screw somewhere. Come on, Fester, look around. Yes, is that it? No, that's the spacer. Yeah, go on, you can do it. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, there's a little pawl. And what that does is that locks into the back of the trigger when you turn it, and it just locks it in place. You don't accidentally turn the drill on. Now we hunt the screw, which is, yeah, as you can see, extremely tiny. So yeah, let's have a quick check of the old instructions just to make sure it's the right one. Beauty of Tamiya instructions, for those that don't know, is you can hold the screw against the instructions, and on the sheet it'll actually be the exact printed size will match the printed screw, or the screw length. It's the same with the Tamiya motorcycles when you're doing tubing for the brakes. You lay the tube on the instruction sheet and it's exactly the length that you need it to be. So they do some good things to me, or I must admit, and that's one of them. Especially if you've got a large kit with a lot of nuts, bolts and washers, you can actually match them up. See, so deft bit of screwdriver in there with the obligatory mobile phone repair set. Yeah. How many times have I had to change the screen on my mobile phone? Yeah. There you go. See, and that works quite nicely, and I just tighten it up so it's a resistance fit. In other words, stiff. Ha, he said stiff. There you go. So we can put that down. Get the other screwdriver out just in case it's needed. I'm just rummaging around now looking for the rest of the bits and pieces that I need. I've got a tube of grease somewhere, so I'll keep that to the left there, and that's going to be used for all the gears. So we can start putting in, I would have thought by now, the trigger. I'll give that a little sand, and then we can start putting the mechanism in, and the trigger just rests in the body. There's a little recess that it sits in, and it's got two little pegs on the top edge, as you can see on the instructions, and you then have a few vertical levers that go into place, and they're retained by a screw. So I'll just rest it in place and then bring it back into shot for you, and you'll be able to see what I mean. There it is, see? And there's a hole in the middle that'll accept the screw, and then that runs up the front edge of the trigger of the handle to where the actual grey trigger is, and as you pull the trigger, that then rocks a little lever lower down that makes contact with the batteries, pushes a piece of copper against them, and that's how it works. It's that simple. So put a little washer in just to give the screw something solid to buy it against. And there's a little screw hole there in the body half there that all rests in. There you go, you can see it now. And just put the screwdriver in and get it to bite. There's a couple of pegs in the back of the trigger there that slide up and down on this little grey lolly stick shaped bit of plastic, and then that bit just goes in the hole like so. Hook it underneath and lay it flat in there, and then you can nip them two bits together. Just quickly check on the instructions that it's looking how it should, and we'll do that screw up, I think. Yeah, nice and tight. Wait, trigger, look at that. Oh yeah, good old Fester. If in doubt, yeah, that's it. Don't pull the trigger until you've got it all together. Burke. That's it. Yeah, quick close-up look just to make sure that it's not going to fall apart again, and then we'll put it back down on the bench like so. Then we can carry on screwing that little bit in just to give it a final twist. Now that I'm happy that it works, put a little tiny dab of grease in there as well, just so that it doesn't squeak and bind. And yeah, it's actually quite a tight little fit, that screw. You might just want to put your fingers behind it so that you don't crack the case. But that now works how I like to work, because I'm quite heavy handed, as you notice. And yeah, my sanding sticks proved that point. Right, let's have a little look at what we can do. So I think we'll start putting some of the gears on the cogs together now. Look for the little stainless steel drill chuck, and it's basically a little threaded rod, and then you slide that in the plastic bearing like so, and then put on the gear on one end, persuasion fit, and the little white bearing will sit in a groove in the case. And then here comes my favourite. Yeah, you got it. It's these little circlip or C-clips, whatever you want to call them. And I have an absolute nightmare with them, because as you can see, I've got a hand like a pound of sausages. And yeah, so it will do several circuits of the gear wheel, no doubt, before I finally get it where I need it to. But patience is a virtue. Yeah, Festa's sweat box will be full up by the end of this, I can imagine. But yeah, it'll get there. But it just takes me a little longer than perhaps the average Joe to get these things in place. But yeah, so we'll try going round this side. Like that's going to make a difference, Cole. Yeah. And then a little bit of a scrapage. Yeah, the pliers will be out in a minute. If in doubt, get the pliers out. You know you want, Cole. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Yeah, come on. Out with the heavy furniture. Quick. No, yeah, another go with a knife, and then quit whilst you're behind, and then get your long nose pliers, mate. Yeah, just over there. That's it. Good girl. Yeah, and it falls off. This is why this is a voiceover. In fact, that when I started building this drill, I was in a hangout with the rest of the sprue crew, and they was playing me up like a bunch of school children, because I stupidly told them I was filming, and if you can imagine, every silly little bit of bad language come out. You had grown men doing trouser coughs and grunting noises left, right and centre. Anything they cut me off. So me being me, I hit the live button and then proceeded to tell Reese and Davey, the two main cohorts of the troublemaking crew, that we was live on YouTube, and their chins hit the floor. And then yeah, but luckily for me, you know, it worked out well, because I'd actually forgot to push the microphone in all the way anyway on this. So yeah, but yeah, the calamity ensued. I've got a link up on me channel to that particular live show, so you'll see me holding this drill at some point at the beginning of the show. And yeah, it's like, but they were proper rotters. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back on with the drill build. And let's put spacer on there. Yeah, that's where that goes. We've ascertained that, so we can pop the little washer back off, put a little squeeze of grease in there, and then put the washers back on, and then the little orange spacer will go back in place so that we can excuse me, have a little bit of movement going on there. So it's a quick little jiggery pokery just to make sure that I have got the right washer on there, and then we can put a dab of grease on there now that I'm happy. And yeah, these are the feisty little tubes of grease that they give you, and yeah, do take a bit of effort to get a bit out, but persevere with it. You no doubt will do what I do and pick the bottle up several times off the floor, because you will squeeze it too hard and it'll pa-ching everywhere. But there you go, we got a bit in there, a big old blob underneath the washer there. Yeah, and then we put another lot on the other side there. Get that in place, and then we can put this spacer on the end like so. Just give it a little twist around to get the grease moving around, and that is that little bit sorted. See? And then we'll have this part here and have a little tiny metal shaft go through it, and we'll grease that all up, and then start joining all of these gears together like so. So a quick test fit. Yeah, and there'll probably be a washer go between this and the shaft. He said shaft, and put a little blob of grease in there like so. Get the shaft in there, try not to drop it. This is where I go hunting around for it. There you go, a little bit of grease along the side there like so. Shove that in there, give it a little twist around to start the process of getting the grease going. But once the drill's connected up to the battery and everything, and has had a couple of spins, the grease will spread itself out nicely anyway. So just give that a little clean. That's it, and then it'll all start coming together. There you go. I'll just pick that up. A little test fit in that side. I'm happy with that. And then that, I'll have a spacer just on the end there. Excuse my shakies. Like so. And that'll all go into the half of the housing that doesn't have the battery cover on it. Okay. So it'll be the right side of the housing, if that makes sense. There you go, see? I'll just drop that in, like so. Making sure that everything lines up. And you'll then have another little tiny shaft that goes in this gear wheel. Bit of grease on the side there, like that. Pop it in place, give it a couple of turns, just so that we know that it's started to go in place, and then that will drop inside the casing like that, and that's the gears in place. Obviously the final gear is attached to the motor there, just at the top of the screen. And then everything will get another coat of grease over the gears, and we'll be ready to fire her up. I'll just put a little bit more on the back side of the spacer. That's it. happy with that, and then just drop a little bit across the teeth. I'll show you that in a sec. Yeah, that's it. And just run it over with your finger. It's almost like a slug shaped bit of grease that just goes across the top of the gear wheel teeth, so that when I operate the drill for the first time, everything gets a good coating of grease. And just press this home into the slot that's cut into the drill body there, like so, and that's the motor in place. And then I'll just squeeze the last bit of grease out of the tube onto the front of that little white toothed wheel, and Robert is one's uncle. Look at that. Yeah. Cue the drill noise. Yeah. Yeah. You know it's coming. Yeah. So we can start putting in the last little contact along the bottom here. And this basically, when you pull the trigger, the bottom part of that flicks upwards against the batteries. It completes the circuit that enables the motor to get its power. And it is really that simple. There you go. See? That's all it does. And then there's a little retaining cover that goes over that, which limits the amount that the trigger can be pulled back, so that you don't overcook it and break the pin off of the side of the trigger there. It's just a little piece of plastic that sits in there, and then you can pop the two halves together. Nice resounding click in place. And then it's simply 4 crosshead screws that hold the bodywork together. So we're on the final leg of this little bit of drilling. Put the last one in, and I'll just put a couple of turns on each one, and then get out the slightly bigger screwdrivers. I'll just quickly hunt through my drawer and get me big screwdrivers out. Yeah, smack your head on the light, why don't you? So we'll just put the drill down and yeah, because we know what will happen to them screws, Fester. Yeah, you'll drop them. Yeah, that's it. So put that there. What do we want? We want the yellow handle and the super long black handled screwdriver. Come on, they're in here somewhere. Yeah. There you go. Item number 1 on the agenda. A slightly more stronger, bigger screwdriver. And just get them to bite. Once they start biting, I'll dig out the longer screwdriver. It just lets me have a bit more control, because I shake a lot, so I rest the screwdriver against the side of me ribs to stop me shaking so much. So it's the only reason I use the super long one. So, but once that starts nipping, I can then use the other one for a bit of leverage. So I often get asked why I use such a long screwdriver on small parts, but there you go. So I can lever that against me thumb, and then the handle goes right over against me ribs, and just, yeah, makes it easier for me. Improvise, adapt and overcome. Grab the little ferrules. There's 2 different ferrules that come with this. You get the super tiny ones that will go right down to pin vise size drills, and then you get one that will go up to, I think, a couple of mil, 4 or 5 mil, something like that, maybe a bit bigger. But for most drilling and that, you'll only use small one. I'm going to use this in place of a manual pin vise because it's easier for me. Grabbing some batteries there, 2 AA batteries. Quickly have a move round in my bench there. And I shall pop these batteries in the drill and give her a little test press to make sure she's working, which she is, like so. So thanks for watching.